Hey, it's me, Bria. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, a great 2023, and I hope you are as excited for 2024 as I am. I love New Year's. It's this chance to kind of start fresh, reorient yourself, reassess what you want, where you are in life, and to really feel like you have the chance to shoot for your goals. You can set yourself off on a good path and see what you can accomplish in the course of the year. And that always feels good to me. As somebody who's had to rebuild herself time and time again from various crises and difficulties, I always love an opportunity to start fresh. But as much as I love New Year's, for me, the real New Year's celebration doesn't come on January 1st, but it comes on today, January 2nd, the day that I am recording and hopefully releasing this video. January 2nd marks my 9 years transiversary, 9 years after coming out as trans and going on HRT. And 9 years, that's a long time in trans circles. I always say in these videos, when I record videos like this, that it feels like a lifetime and no time at all. And it's true. I've lived a lifetime in the past 9 years. I've done so much. I've experienced so many new things. I've grown so much as a person. I'm completely different from who I was 9 years ago in certain ways. I think in other ways, I'm totally exactly the same person I've always been. But it just feels like an entire lifetime. I have a difficult time even remembering or comprehending the life before I came out. But at the same time, it just feels like just yesterday that I was that sort of shy, doe-eyed girl who just didn't know what to expect, didn't really know who she was, and was experiencing all kinds of exciting things for the first time in her life. I think I want to make space for the fact that very frequently in our community, a trans person will be considered a trans elder, like after being out of the closet for not even very long at all, like maybe even just 5 years. You frequently get trans people who have like massive followings and platforms that are making big pronouncements about the nature of transness and the trans experience. And they've been out of the closet for like a year or two. And like, hey, I was there too. I was handed a rather big platform when I was only a couple years out of the closet. And I said all kinds of stuff that like, I don't know if I fully agree with now, or maybe I was speaking prematurely, speaking overly broadly about people's experiences. I'm not going to throw any shade to somebody who's working out their feelings about this wonderful new experience they're having. But the truth is, we have a low bar for people being considered elders in our community. And I want especially non-trans people to sit with that and think about that. Because it mostly has to do with the fact that trans people tend to not live very long. I wonder why that might be. But, even just being 9 years out of the closet, I do feel like I can legitimately say that I'm in some capacity an elder. 9 years is a decent amount of time to have some experience at something. Although I feel just in awe of people who've been out, for like 20 years. Anyone who transitioned like really pre-2010, honestly, you get a salute. That's hardcore. I know trans people hate being called brave for coming out, but like, for real, it was another world back then, and it takes serious guts to come out in an environment like that. I didn't have the guts to come out back then, certainly. But, 9 years is a long time to have a lot of experiences, and I feel like I have something to offer. But I also, I find myself missing those early years. Like any trans person that you talk to will probably tell you that those first few years out of the closet are the hardest, right? Like you're going through transition, you're experiencing a bunch of things for the first time, and it sucks too though. Like you're scared for the future. You don't know what to expect. You just want HRT perhaps to either be, giving you the changes you want, or even just to get on HRT at all. Maybe you're doing hair removal and you just can't wait for that to be over. Maybe you want surgeries and you just can't wait to get them. Any number of things that you might be doing to like find yourself or change yourself to be in line with who you want to be. It's a process, and it can suck to be in the middle of the process when you just want to get on with your life and be yourself in a way that cis people, they don't have to fight to be themselves. They just get to be who they are. And then there's exploration that they do, but it's not the same thing. Our very identities are gate kept to a degree, and we have to fight for them. And it's not a very pleasant process at times. And I really don't blame anybody for just wanting it to be over with. I think a big defining experience of my first few years out of the closet was a hope for the future. Like what I described experiencing at New Year's, this belief of like, I have a goal that I'm going to reach and the future will be great if I just reach it. And all I have to do is focus on this thing and I'll just keep going for it and then I'll be happy. It's a nice feeling. But the truth is, like, you can't just live looking ahead. You actually do need to appreciate what you are experiencing currently. And, like I said, I miss those early years of transition, despite the fact that I couldn't wait for them to be over with, because it was a magical time. I was experiencing so many things for the first time. I was growing and learning, and everything was wonderful. Dress goes spinny. I got to have long hair again. I got to feel my body in a way that I'd never felt before, never thought I would feel, and it felt so good. It was a magical time, and I miss it in many ways. I don't get to be that young doe-eyed girl again. And I'm a trans elder. I'm going to be 37 this year. I came out as trans at 27. And, back then in 2015, that was pretty young to come out. It was pretty rare to find somebody that was coming out like much younger than like their mid-20s. We totally existed. We've been coming out as kids for decades. But back then, 27 was pretty decently young to be coming out. And, I feel pretty lucky, somebody being born at the time that I was born, that I got to experience at least a few years as like a young woman in her 20s. As sad as I often am about like, oh, I wish I could have come out sooner. I'm so sad I missed out on all these experiences in my teens and my 20s. At least I got a few years in my 20s of being myself, right? I feel really appreciative of that. But at that time, I was so busy looking to the future. I had a lot of dysphoria. I didn't like myself a lot of the time. And I just couldn't wait for those early years to be over with. And now that they are, I'm a little sad, of course, that they are over with, and I kind of wish I could have that magic again. And I'm also sad that I didn't appreciate just how happy I felt and just how gorgeous I was. I can bemoan not getting to be a young woman for more years and in younger years of my life, but I was a gorgeous young woman in her 20s, and I'm so grateful that I got to have that. And, I was mulling over this stuff yesterday, heading down to Wreck Beach for some New Year's karate training down by the sea. And I was kind of sitting with my past self and really appreciating her. And rather than bemoaning the fact that I don't get to be her, or I didn't get more years of being her, or that she didn't appreciate herself enough when I was her, I get to have her whenever I want, in a sense. I get to sit with her. I get to appreciate her. I get to have memories of my past self forever, for the rest of my life. And I can appreciate, oh my God, I was so gorgeous. I was so happy. That was such a magical time in my life, and I'll never forget it. I get to have that for the rest of my life. And I know, okay, this isn't like an incredible realization, Bria. Oh yeah, Bria. Human beings have brains that store memories, which they can then access again later. Great insight, Bria. Here's your Nobel Prize in neurobiology. No, but like, you get to keep your past selves. Even if you feel like you didn't get to have this or you didn't appreciate it enough, you can hold on to that old version of yourself, and it can still bring you joy and insight too. And the truth is, that just keeps going. Every year you come out brings, or every year since you've come out brings new memories, new versions of yourself you get to hold on to, new wisdom, new opportunities to help others. It changes as you get older. Your role in the world changes, so your experiences and your memories that you have will change, of course. But it's exciting. You get to draw on all these things and you get to look back like, wow, I've accomplished a lot. I've done a lot. And similar to with the pre-transition life too. It can be really hard to revisit those years. While I was away for the holidays visiting my hometown, I was at dinner with a bunch of people that I was in like a Midsummer Night's Dream production, like when I was 11. And they were going to go watch a video of the performance. And at first I was kind of enthusiastic about it because I do acting. I like to act in plays and things. I thought, oh, that'd be neat to revisit, right? And all these people were so excited to revisit it. But then I realized what the reality of it would be, and I wasn't so sure I wanted to see myself at 11. I think that would have been hard for me to watch, and I opted out of it. I left. I said, no, I don't want to see that actually. And it was fine. Nobody made a big deal out of it. But I think I might have benefited from seeing my past self. I think I might have been surprised by what I saw. I think I might have seen who I am today in that past version of myself. And that might have been hard to see. I remember having the experience of seeing a photograph of myself at 16 and just bursting into tears because I could see the girl that I was on my 16th birthday when that photo was taken. And it can be hard to see that, plain as day. But at the time, it just wasn't even a possibility. It's bittersweet. It's a double-edged sword. So as painful as it can be to sit with those past memories, it can be wonderful and affirming because you can see, no, I've always been me. I was always me, even when I didn't think I was, even when it seemed impossible for me to be me. So this is all to say, don't rush through life. Don't only look forwards. Don't be afraid to look backwards. All three, past, present, and future, are important. And you can get something out of all of them. And every year you live is just more you can draw from. I am really excited for 2024. I think it's going to be a good year, actually. I know a lot of people are worried for everything, but I'm optimistic. And, I always feel very self-conscious releasing videos on this channel because I've been saying for like literally years, oh yeah, I'm going to do more voice training. I've got a comprehensive voice training videos I want to make. They are coming. I know I've been saying this for like 3 years or more. I'm going to do comprehensive voice training lessons. It's just, I do many things and I have very high standards and I have a particular idea about what I want to do. And I finally feel like I'm in a place that I can do it. I want to return to doing more voice teaching. I've been doing some voice teaching. If you want a voice lesson from me, send me an email, lifeofbria@gmail.com. I'll fit you in my schedule. I teach Thursdays in the morning and in the evening. So if you want a lesson from me, send me a message. I'm thinking about, I'd like to do more voice streams. My internet is not always the most reliable, but I really enjoy streaming and I think there's value in it. And I think I could benefit a lot of people by re-engaging with that. So maybe let me know if you're interested in me streaming again and I might set up some voice streams. Let me know what you need to work on and then I'll address that in a stream and in a video. So, voice stuff is coming. Other art stuff is coming. It's going to be a good year. I'm teaching karate again. That's cool. So I'm going to go 9 years out of the closet. It's a wild time. Here's to 9 years more. 18 years more. 27 years more. 36 years more. Etc. Bye.